Hi there, Oz Konar here with Business Lending Blueprint. Listen, today I'm going to talk to you about the top 5 marketing strategies that you need to know about if you're planning to start, grow, or even scale a very successful and profitable business as a business loan broker. Usually, my content is being watched by 2 types of audiences. One is existing brokers. A lot of the existing brokers in this industry, especially if they've been doing this for a while, they're tired, they're beat up because most of their revenue comes from cold calling and telemarketing, which obviously is not a lot of fun. I used to do that years ago. I used to call like 300-400 people a day for 3 days a week. So that's the first audience. They usually have one product, one method of marketing, which is usually just hardcore telemarketing. And they are usually pretty miserable, and they're trying to figure out a way because they believe in the industry, but they just don't know any other way to go about it. The second type of audience is someone who is looking into the industry. Maybe they want to get started. They're trying to figure out if this is the good industry, if they can start this, grow this in a relatively short amount of time and build a profitable business. So this video will cover both parties, whether you're an existing broker or you are looking into either getting started with us or you're looking into getting started with the industry and trying to understand, well, how are we going to do marketing? How are we going to get leads, right? That's one of the top questions that I get all the time. We answered those questions in the webinar, the full free training on what we do here. There's a link for that below this training. But regardless of whether you watched it or not, I just wanted to cover the top 5 strategies. But before I do that, I wanted to turn it over to my camera and show you what what I'm going to be talking about actually works. So you can actually see the proof ahead of time so you can decide if you want to listen to me or not. So check this out. All right, I will do something that I haven't done before. I'm going to let you into our private community for our paid members of the Business Lending Blueprint and show you some of the recent success that took place within the past week. Sometimes I get emails, people ask why we haven't released a testimonial video in the next 30 days or something like that. Guys, we have hundreds of testimonials and over like 700 reviews. Some of them are on Google, some of them are in other places. So I rather focus on the success of my members instead of plucking them from the community and trying to showcase their successes. So I thought it'd be a good idea for me to just show you what's happening recently, not just random screenshots, but actually like within our community. Our Facebook community is super strong. We have over 3,000 people, and you'll be able to see various individuals and the type of successes they're posting about. That's their post on Facebook. So I'll show you about a dozen of them, and that took place just within the past 5-6 days. So this is not like the accumulation of months of success stories or anything like that. Just the things that we see every single day in our community. So I'm going to quickly walk you through some of them. Obviously, we're going to blur out some sensitive information that we can't allow you to see because either because of the privacy of the person or our lender network and our partners and all that stuff, right? So the first one is Israel. I started with us recently, and it's like almost $10,000 in commissions. When you think about it, what business can give you like $10,000 from just one deal, right? So that's another question I usually get. How many deals does it take to make a lot of money? I mean, that depends. Some of the deals pay you $2,000. This is not a massive deal. It's only like $80,000 in funding. That's a small business deal pretty much. And he was able to make almost $10,000 out of that. So the second one is, one of our other members, as you can see, again, this is a relatively small amount of deal funded, $70,000 and almost $6,000 in commissions. Ricardo not only has been funding a lot of deals himself, but he's helping. So we have our own organic growth of brokers becoming lenders, right? That's how should I say, how contagious this industry is. Like people who start out by just wanting to make a few $1,000s. And over time, I think this is Ricardo's second year with us. You might remember him that I did a testimonial video with him. He was just happy that he made $8,000 on just one deal. Right now, he became a lender and helping other members like Nathaniel posted about this with the help of Ricardo. He just funded a deal, and you're looking at like $6,000. This is crazy, right? So within our own community now, we're breeding our own lenders and partners and people helping each other out. I mean, you won't be able to find this anywhere else. There's another one is Scott here. as you can see, $1,500 commission on this one. Ray took care of this, and this is one of our moderators and also coaches. So when someone signs up brand new, we have every week we have a new member orientation, like a weekly Zoom call. The notification goes out on Facebook and also through email. There's a new member, you can jump on it. One of our coaches walk you through on a group call what to do, how to succeed. Also, prior to this, you have an onboarding call with one of our onboarding managers that walks you through. She does an amazing job walking you through what to do in the blueprint to hit the ground running and having success as soon as possible with this amazing training. So this is Anthony posting about the his New Year's goal, and he's chilling with his girlfriend. So they're doing this as couples, and they're going to grow a massive organization. So it's a very personable community that we enjoy. And in 2022, we're going to go back to having our own live events for members only. So this is going to be an amazing networking opportunity for the members of the Blueprint. And guess what? We're going to have our lenders and our partners in there too. So it's going to be an event with massive consequences, positive consequences down the line for anyone who's in love with Business Lending Blueprint. One of our partners, Marie, she's posting about the deals that are funded. Jonathan funded $150,000, Isaac funded $100,000, William funded $40,000, and this is all happening in the last, almost the last day of the year. And these are all, if you haven't noticed, the dates are like here. That's why I'm posting them. I'm showing you, like, this is 2 days ago. This is January 3rd. This happened yesterday, literally. And the post is a day old here, 2 days. And I got more stuff. Like, I can keep going on. I pulled about a dozen. And this is me doing like a 2-minute scroll in our community. Elena, this is December 28th. As you can see, the deal funded $3,000 in commissions. Guys, sometimes this amount is what some people make in a month, right? And they're doing this through one deal. So then the network that you're part of is super important. Daniel, he's also one of our moderators in our community. And this is 5 days ago, the last day of the year. He just did this $68,000 equipment deal, $81,000 sign to close. Shadid, he joined our business credit success blueprint, where we show people how to build their business credit so they don't have to rely on their personal FICO score or sign a personal guarantee, but they can build business credit. One of the lessons was about transferring your personal vehicle. Like, if you're watching this, you might have a car to you use for family trips and for your job, for commuting and all that stuff. So I showed them how to transfer that on their business. So that even if you're still making your monthly payment, you can keep building business credit. So Shahid, he was just posting about it and how he was able to follow the lesson and actually transfer his personal vehicle to business. And Ray was sharing his numbers for the year 2021. They funded, I did 2 videos on them. So the last one I've done a couple of months ago, they were at $30,000 a month in like commissions, revenue, money in the bank. So they finished the year with over $5 million and funded 58 deals. So with a rough math, depending on the products, that's anywhere from $450,000 to $600,000 in revenue. And I know that they're not following any like paid advertising funnels or anything like that. So that's crazy amount of money in just 1 year. I know their goals for 2022 is even more amazing. So guys, again, I can go on, but I want to go back to the video and talk about the top 5 marketing strategies. But I wanted to show you whether this works or not, right? These people, they just following the strategies that we teach when it comes to marketing to reach levels of success like this. And again, this is just a small sample within a very small time period. So let's go back to the video. Hopefully this was helpful for you to see that what I'm going to be talking about is very relevant and very 2022. And if you do apply it, it will work. So hopefully you stay with me. Let's get started. All right, back here again. So let's get started. There are three different ways of generating leads in any business, but especially in the business loan brokerage industry. One is organic outreach, right? So you can actually do organic marketing. What that means is without any paid advertising, meaning paying to generate leads, either through Google or Facebook or TikTok or Instagram. Organic outreach means that you're using still online internet to generate leads through organic means. It could be Facebook outreach, that you're reaching out to people through Facebook. It could be just you're joining different groups on Facebook and connecting with them. It could be that you're doing some email marketing. It could be that you're using LinkedIn. It could be you're using Instagram to find people and start conversations with them. That's the most economic version of lead generation, because it's virtually free. You can just go ahead and connect with people one-on-one, one by one, and start generating leads and talk about the services that you provide. That's the organic method. The second one is the paid advertising. Paid advertising, like the name suggests, that you're paying for eyeballs on your content, right? So you can technically do Google advertising, YouTube advertising. You'll probably see some YouTube ads during my video, right? So you're familiar with that. You might not be familiar with, but TikTok has paid advertising. Instagram and a Facebook ads is a famous one, obviously. It's the second category. Third category is referral-based, relationship-based lead generation. So if you are the type of the person who enjoys networking, or if you already have access to a lot of contacts, you can grow your business loan brokerage business through referral partnerships, strategic referral partnerships. I personally utilized, when I first started out, a lot of referral partnerships. I partnered with a lot of the banks because I know that they were an easy target to go after. We were actually recently talking about this on one of my weekly calls for my members. So at some point I had about 20 branches pretty much helping me with my business loan brokerage business, because they have a ton of turndowns, meaning that businesses walk into those branches every single day looking for money, either to start the business or to save their business or to buy inventory or buy their neighbor or buy equipment. And these branches, they're not equipped to provide almost any type of funding to these people. They have to turn them down. But if you build good relationships with the branch managers and the staff there, and I walk through an entire process of how I do it, on our weekly call. So you can actually have people just call you while you're sitting home. They can send you leads, and it's gotten to a point that it was pretty ridiculous. So they would even gather the documentation on my behalf. I would just call the customer and just help them out, because I've trained their staff and the branch managers on the products and services that I did provide. So it was an easy day, month, year for me pretty much to generate as many leads as possible. So you get to a point that you're the picky one. You want to work with customers who are going to close really, really fast. So that's the third category. So let's go through them again: organic, paid, and relationship-based lead generation. You build alliances pretty much. So how do you decide? There's so many avenues. Like, obviously, if you want to do paid advertising, you got to understand paid advertising. If you want to do organic outreach, you got to know which channel to go after, what to say, how to say it. You got to know the products and services, right? It can get complicated. And there's this whole category of people who still use archaic methods, such as purchasing leads from third-party companies or telemarketing. So we do not endorse, we do not support those practices. Because I've tested myself, I've done it for many years. They work. The problem is that the squeeze is not worth the juice, right? Because you're just putting a ton of individual effort, and it's not scalable. Let's say you're telemarketing, you're calling 600 people a day. Well, kudos to you, that's awesome. And let's say that brings you 4 deals a month, and you're making 10K. All right, that's decent income. So how do you grow that to 40K, 50K per month, which is extremely difficult to do, because you need 4 other human beings who are doing what you're doing, because you optimize yourself to the highest level per day, because you're already calling the max number of people. You're not going to just double your output. There's no way, there's no room, there's no time in the day. That's one major problem. The second major problem is, you might tell me, that's fine. There are many companies who have employees. How come you don't recommend I hire 10 people? Yeah, but if you're given the chance of building a lean organization where you did not really have to deal with that many people, versus having to hire 10 people, going through the hiring process, firing process, training process, management. And if you have a company, anything beyond 4 people, you need a mid-layer manager usually, right? So you have to find a manager and hire that. And you go through all of that. And at the end of the month, the profit, your take-home money is not much different, a lot more different than the $10,000 you used to make on your own. Maybe you doubled it, but now you're a lot more frustrated. You're barely seeing your family. And that's pretty much your limit unless you want to grow this to like 100 people, 200 people, and it comes with its own complications. So just have a mental image of what that will look like versus you generating $40,000, $50,000 per month in the bank, maybe with one part-time employee and working from home. Which one seems more attractive, right? So given those two opportunities, that's why I'm highly against either purchasing leads, because you're pretty much buying somebody's junk, somebody else's junk, right? So they call those leads, and if those leads were they were that hot, how come they were not calling it? Why are they selling it, right? So you're buying somebody else's junk, or you're calling somebody else's junk, and either way, you're building yourself a nice cell, like a jail cell, which you call a business. Well, it's not a business. You might as well have gotten a job or not quit your job, right? So my definition of business is something that's lean, profitable, that's growth oriented, that gives you your time freedom, location freedom, right? And financial freedom. Those things are super important when you're trying to make a decision whether you should start this business, that business, and whether you should do it this way or that way. That's why I'm not including those two options as categories here. We're only talking about organic, paid advertising, and building alliances. Now, the $1 million question, that's the reason for me burning all the papers with the marketing companies' logos on it, marketing avenues, platforms, logos on it, is that marketing is very misunderstood. Many people try to do everything at once, which is going to be very difficult for you to do. You're watching this on YouTube most likely. So if you search how to do YouTube, how to learn YouTube ads, there are going to be a ton of videos that show you how to do that. Most people just stay put and they tell themselves, I don't understand how to do this. They give up on it. Or even worse, they try to do everything. And it's called multi-channel marketing. They have they ill-defined what multi-channel marketing means. They think that it's just doing everything at once. That's not what it means at all. You have to master one channel at a time. So all of these marketing channels work, and none of them work. I'm not making sense. What do I mean? So individually speaking, if you master how to do TikTok marketing, there are people who are making millions of dollars out of that. But most people who try TikTok marketing will fail because they're not going to give it enough time. They're not going to follow a proven strategy. So it's not going to work. But those who follow specific strategies, those who follow the guidance of people who've done it before, those actually have taken time to master it, it will work for them. So the question is not whether YouTube works for marketing, whether YouTube organic works for marketing, or LinkedIn organic works for marketing, or Facebook organic or paid advertising works for marketing. At the end of the day, all of these channels put you in front of the same eyeballs you would have gotten through another marketing avenue. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And what matters is what you do with that. So I just wanted to serve this as a wake-up call. Hopefully this helps you understand how to look at the marketing. Collectively, people look at the marketing, I think, very differently than I have been for many years, because I'm a marketer too. So I never focus on the capabilities of the channel. I focus on the capabilities of myself. Which channel do I feel more comfortable using to generate leads? At the end of the day, the goal is to have access to as many leads that I want and be able to automate it and have access to this lever that I can just turn on and turn off. I call it on-demand marketing. So your goal is, especially as a business loan broker, if you want to scale your business really, really fast and 5x, 10x, your business in a relatively short amount of time, you need to have control over the faucet, the lever, so you can just turn on as you want it, slow it down, or turn off. Many people, the reason that they're not successful is not necessarily because they're not from the industry. It's not necessarily because they don't understand the product. It's not necessarily because they're horrible salespeople. It's because they lack the leads. They can't control the leads. Let me tell you something. Let's say you are a pretty bad salesperson. You haven't sold anything in your life. And if I give you 1,000 hot leads, like these are actual leads that I generated, and I told you that just go through them. I don't care what you say, how you say it, just talk to them. And if you just believe in me and do that religiously, regardless of how bad you are on closing, follow up, and everything else, so your product knowledge, you're going to close deals. You're not going to close it as effective as someone who's a pro at this, but you'll still make money. But let's say you're an amazing salesperson. You've been doing this for 10 plus years. This actually happens a lot, right? Throughout the week, I usually get a few emails from people saying that, listen, man, I know you're offering this training on business loan brokerage. I don't need that. I've been in this industry for 10 years. I have access to lenders. I'm a closer. I'm this, I'm that. All I need is the leads. So this individual is telling me that he or she's got it all, right? But being a great salesperson doesn't make money when you don't know how to generate leads. That's always the case. We usually get questions on this channel. Hey, I have zero background in this. Can I still make money? That's 90% of my audience. Like 90% of our brokers that you've seen from the screen share, that's who they are. When they walk in, they have no clue. But the way we structured everything is that they can pick and choose a specific marketing channel, go through it, make that work, make it generate leads and close some deals. And if they want to go through another marketing channel, they do that. So the takeaway from this video is that what marketing avenue you choose will depend on what you're trying to accomplish. If you want to have a large volume of leads come to you, you need to use a paid advertising method. Whether you use Google keyword advertising, YouTube advertising, Facebook advertising, or Instagram advertising is up to you. What matters at the end is whatever you choose, stick with one thing until you master it. Whether you learn all the strategies and techniques and the templates and get the templates from our program or do it on your own, it's definitely up to you depending on your budget, obviously. But YouTube has a lot of resources. What it comes down to, mastering one of them is a matter of decision, right? So if you're going to go through the paid advertising route, one of the myths is that, oh, you need to have a lot of money to put into paid advertising. That's the furthest thing from the truth. We have members. I mean, I've shared a bunch of success stories with you who are getting leads for like $1, right? So even if you have a budget of $5 a day, that could equate to 3 to 5 leads per day, which is awesome, obviously. So 5 interested parties fill out a lead form that you receive in completion, and you can take it from there. So that's the first part. If you decide to do paid advertising, just decide to master one of the paid advertising channels. If you're a low budget or no budget at all, then you have to decide on a organic marketing strategy. One of the most effective ones, for example, is email marketing, right? Many people use their inbox every single day, but they're not utilizing it as a resource to market. There are many resources such as Fiverr.com where you can hire someone for anywhere from $5 to $15 to collect emails on your behalf from a specific industry. Let's say you want to target plumbers as a business loan broker and you need their email addresses. Obviously, you can Google and find a bunch of plumbers and get their email addresses if you want to do it. But if you want to expedite the process, you can hire someone from Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com for $5 to $10 and have them gather hundreds of emails from a specific industry and start your email marketing campaign that way. If you're not really familiar with email marketing and that's not something you want to do, and if you're more on like the social media end, learn how to do direct marketing, direct response marketing through Facebook or Instagram or even like Craigslist, right? So the quality will be different if you go through a route like a Craigslist because usually you get low quality leads, but it allows you to start from someplace. So the point is there is no excuse for not to be successful in 2022. If you want to follow a step-by-step guide that's proven to work across hundreds of people, then I suggest you check out what we have here. But if you cannot afford it, or let's say you're not interested in working with us, which is perfectly fine, that doesn't mean it's the end of your pursuit to reach financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom as a business loan broker. I know you might think I'm biased, but I truly do believe this is the best business opportunity. And the only person that can stop you from succeeding in this industry is you, right? So that's why I wanted to give you a format, a blueprint to follow when it comes to understanding different marketing avenues, because a lot of times I hear things like, oh, LinkedIn marketing doesn't work. Oh, Facebook doesn't work. YouTube doesn't work. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. Guys, you're talking about sometimes some of them, these platforms are like multi-trillion-dollar platforms. They have billions of users. I think it's kind of weak to blame an entire platform saying that it doesn't work. It's just simply pushing the blame to someone else instead of taking responsibility for our actions. Just because you don't think it works doesn't make it so. There are thousands of people who are driving thousands of leads every single day from the same platform. So it could be time that if that's your claim, and if you think that you're too young for this, if you're too old for this, it's all your self-talk. You got to make up your mind as to what you're trying to accomplish, right? Even if you're trying to get yourself from your dead-end job, if that's what you have right now, if you're really not enjoying the job that you have to show up every single day, decide that you can. It's okay to start small, right? Maybe your goal is to make your first $5,000 a month consistently, or you're already entrepreneurial and you had a taste of a $50,000 to $60,000 per month business, and you want to get it to 100,000 or 200,000, or you are you're a veteran broker in this industry and you understand how the business works, but you're kind of weak on the marketing end and you need to do something about it, right? But one favor you can do for yourself is be like super specific on what you're trying to accomplish. By the end of 2022, if you had everything that you plan to have, where would that put you? Do you even know that, right? If you cannot give me an answer within 2 seconds, that means you haven't thought about it enough. So it's very important for you to be in the mindset of thinking about marketing avenues within this perspective, than saying to yourself, oh yeah, online marketing, I'm not good at it. Nah, telemarketing is more predictable. At least I know what I'm going to get out of this. Most marketers are not successful, or this and that. So these are all just templated responses that you might have structured over time or heard from others who are really not good at it. Like, you got to be careful who you take your advice from. A lot of the people who are not good at something, they'll, instead of saying that I'm not good at it, they'll say that it doesn't work, right? That's a major distinction between what something doesn't work versus what you couldn't make it work because either A, you didn't put enough effort, B, you were not committed enough, C, you didn't decide what you're going to get out of that. So that's so important. It's vitally important. So we're in the first month of 2022. I want you to make sure that you start with the right structure, with the right mindset, with the right commitment. So by the end of this year, when I shoot another video and talk about the people who reached their goals in 2022, you can just comment below and tell me how well you did, right? So that's what I want to hear. Listen, without further ado, if you really like these contents, comment below, like it, and let me know what else you want to hear about. And I'll be more than happy to take your advice. And I want my audience to shape the content of this channel. So looking forward to seeing you on the next video. If you're interested in what we do, and if you want to be a part of our network, there's a link there in the description of this video. Check that out. And if you do, I look forward to seeing you in the blueprint. Take care, man.